What's going on YouTube? This is Ben, and you already know this is a channel where we talk about business, entrepreneurship, investing, staffing, recruitment, all sorts of stuff like that, everything in between. And if you like that kind of stuff, you should definitely become a subscriber. I'm sure it'll be a value add to your business, if not your life entirely. So become a subscriber, smash the subscribe button. I would truly appreciate it. And smash the like button. It just ranks the video up, and I would definitely appreciate that as well. So let's jump right into something that will be super valuable for you guys, which is all about time management. As you can see, the title is $1 Million Time Management. And I truly do mean that there is a $1 million time management strategy. And it is exactly what it sounds like. People that have the ultimate time management skills, skill set, abilities, and strategies can make $1 million just based on using their time properly, along with all their other skills and abilities and capabilities and all that stuff. But overall, $1 million time management strategy is something that you should have in your back pocket as an entrepreneur specifically. So let's just talk first off, what is time management, right? A lot of people have a misguided interpretation of what time management actually is. It's exactly what it sounds like it is, right? It's managing your time. And again, this is specifically geared towards entrepreneurs, right? I'm not really speaking to like the 9-to-5er, right? Or somebody who has a job that has to take lunch at 12 o'clock and they get off at 5 p.m. and they start at 9 and they have to go to bed at a certain time and whatnot and all that. Your time's being managed for you. You don't get to manage your own time. Entrepreneurs manage their own time, and therefore they get to decide what's valuable and what's not valuable. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. So overall, for entrepreneurs, how you structure out your day, what you prioritize as valuable for yourself, what gets your main focus first versus what gets your focus last, right? How you analyze priorities by their value and their weight in monetary value for you and income and things like that. Those are all time management strategy skills that really, really strong time management users put to use, right? And they put to really good use to make strong income. So time management is one of those things that's like incredibly important, but it kind of flies under the radar, right? It just goes, right? It just happens. But you know that people doing really successful things ultimately have really successful time management skills. So let's dive a little bit deeper, right? And talk about like what an actual $1 million time management strategy is, okay? So the first thing you need to do to implement something like this is learn how to say no. Just say no, right? So learn how to say no and learn what to say no to, right? So there's certain things that come up across your path, right? It might be an old friend, it might be, someone that wants to know what your business is all about, somebody who wants some help with running their own business, just somebody who wants to have a meaningless conversation, or a conversation that they just want to have because they haven't talked to you in a while, or something like that, right? But at the end of the day, you have to learn what's valuable to you and what's not. And there's so many things. I would almost argue that there's like 60% of things that come flooding into your life that are completely unnecessary, whereas the 40% is where all of your value is going to be at. So you have to learn how to say no to that 60% garbage that just sucks away from your 40%. And we've gone over the 80-20 rule, right? Like 20% of your efforts and your energy are, directly related to the 80% of your outcome, which is basically your income and generation, stuff like that. So know how to say no. That's pretty much step number one. The second thing to do would be learn how to prioritize, and prioritize on a value scale. Understand what actually is valuable to you. So learn how to figure out like what's making me money, okay? What's actually generating income now? What's working? What's about to generate income, and what should I work on next that's going to be another income stream for me down the road? Very close, but proven already. And then what's the third thing, right? What should I work on last that's upcoming and a little bit further down the road, right? So understand how to prioritize things on a value scale that's proper and accurate, and not just kind of like pie in the sky thinking like, oh yeah, I should do that. Maybe I should work on this. Like, let me do this thing. No, you need to be very accurate with your time management. If you literally want to make $1 million in a year, you have to have a strategy that's going to comply with that, and that really rests on prioritizing things and not just kind of like putting out their ideas and putting out their, all of your energy and work and stuff on stuff that's meaningless. The third thing I would say is identify time wasting and completely useless tasks and activities that you do. Just figure out what you're doing that wastes your time. If it's Facebook, delete Facebook, okay? If it's Twitter, delete Twitter. If it's YouTube, keep watching this channel. And smash the like button, by the way. If it's just sitting there and surfing your phone or whatever it might be, right? You have to develop a habit of understanding and looking at your screen time. Put your screen time and set it up on your iPhones or whatever so that you can actually look, how much time am I spending on my phone? And you'll realize wow, 5 hours in one day, that's insane. So you need to cut that stuff out, right? It's like a bad habit that you just need to cut off and it'll go away. So, you need to practice good habits and get rid of useless and meaningless things that just suck energy away from your time management, because it's crucial to have a proper time management strategy that doesn't have things that are wasting time, that doesn't have things that are useless, because at the end of the day, every part of your entire 24-hour day that everyone on this planet has needs to be beneficial and valuable and adding some benefit to your future self, or what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day or the day after or a year from now, right? So that's $1 million time management strategy. The next thing I would say is implementing strategies and practices that are critical to having a really good time management strategy. So that's stuff like checking email just 2 to 3 times per day instead of every time someone emails you, right? Just turn off the notifications, check your email once in the morning, once midday, and once in the evening, and that's that, right? Maybe turning your phone on airplane mode for the first 3 hours of the day and then opening it up and checking it out at 9:30 a.m., right? People can wait. Most of the time, people can wait on you. They can hear from you later. It's not a big deal. You can connect back with them once you turn your phone back on after you've worked on the priority tasks that are actually going to be making you money, like the number one items, the things that you are really focused on and that you really want to get done. So implementing practices like that, like turning your phone off, checking email every once in a while, cutting off Facebook, just getting it off of your computer, logging out, not being able to access it, not having notifications come up, turning a ton of notifications off on your phone in general, right? From random apps or whatever it might be that you're subscribed to. Just get rid of that stuff. Including email. In your email, just unsubscribe to any BS that is just not necessary, stuff you don't care about. Just unsubscribe to it. So when it does come into your email, it's only business related, it's only money making related, it's only furthering your own business, and it's not Nordstrom's semi-annual sale. Who cares? Just unsubscribe, okay? So I'm a big fan of doing that. I would say that another one is utilize a systematic program, like an electronic program, like some software or some sort of systematic way of actually putting your time management together. For me, I actually use a combination of Apple Notes and my Google Calendar. And that's totally personal to me. That's my personal style. On my Apple Notes, I have a to-do list. It's structured out by time. I have time blocks on it. It's sophisticated for me. It's the exact way that I've been doing it for several years. I'm extremely used to it. And then I couple that with my Google Calendar, and I kind of match the two and couple them up. So I have all my appointments and everything official on the Google Calendar, and then I have all my tasks and little duties I want to complete for one particular day blocked off on certain time schedules on an Apple Note that's actually just set for that one particular day. That's the way I do it. Some people run every single thing through Google Calendar. Some people run everything through some other app on their phone or something. Whatever it is, it has to be personal to you. But the main thing is it has to work for you, okay? So you can't just adopt somebody else's system. You can't copy my system of Apple Notes if that's not what you're into. If it works for you, great, go ahead and do it. But my deal is I like to-do lists on Apple Notes, and I like to cross things off when they get done and block off time slots, and then double check and cross check my Google Calendar, and that's how I get my time management done. And it's extremely efficient for me. But what's efficient for you might be completely different. It might be an app that's somewhere on your iPhone that I don't even know about that's really efficient. For some reason, it resonates and makes sense with you. So use that, right? But you have to use some sort of, some sort of structural way to actually put your time management into action. Your time management is not just going to stay up here, right? Like that's not going to work. You can't just wake up and be like, man, I run a business and I'm an entrepreneur and I'm going after all of these things. I have $1 million strategy, but everything's up in my head and I know exactly what I'm going to do all day. That's never how it works. That will never succeed. You have to have a plan. You have to have priorities. You have to completely set them out and lay them out in a digitized or paper format or whatever you use, but actually act on that certain strategy and use that that structure that you've set up, whether it's on your computer or on a piece of paper or something, as a to-do list and knock things off as you go. Because if you don't have a plan in place, you're literally just planning to fail, and that's how it's going to work, right? You've heard that phrase before. If you don't plan to or fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? So that's definitely going to be the case. So overall, I would say, guys, the $1 million time management strategy is just simply putting a time management strategy in place, making sure that it is super tightly, vetted and qualified, and that you have no time wasters on there, and nothing is just like, a time void or a time filler. Of course, you want to have time blocks where you're like taking time off or, having, self-care days, things like that, right? But I'm not preaching on that kind of stuff. I'm preaching on time management overall as a generic and just how you should be implementing it. So biggest things to take away are, know how to say no to things, understand how to prioritize things that are making you money and prioritize them first. Identify wasted and useless time, and implement a really good time management structure and strategy, whether it's software or some app or some sort of to-do list type thing. That's $1 million time management strategy. That's how you're ultimately going to gain some success, and it's critical to your success. So I hope you guys are doing that. Happy upcoming 4th. That's all I've got today for Wednesday. I will catch you guys on the 4th tomorrow. I will see you then. Take care. Bye.